All right, so definitely feels bigger. Feels like there's more people here. Lots of great stuff that we've seen so far. Anything that stood out to you?
Well, I want to take a look at some of the other stuff that the new product solutions were coming out. There was a cool new, it's called TruePort by Zonar. That looks like a really, really cool device. So it's supposed to be capable of detecting non-metallic and not just non-metallic, but even 3D printed guns. So I want to take a look at that, like, again.
Yeah,
I should try it.
Real hot right now because of the assassination attempt, or I guess successful assassination attempt of the CEO in New York, United Health Group. So lots of cool stuff in that realm. A lot of things going on with that.
Let's take a look. Let me see where Zonar is.
Let's see.
Zonar is in 34098.
So yeah, back this way. Let's take a look at them. So what stood out to you about Zonar?
The fact that it's capable of actually detecting non-metallic weapons.
Yeah, that's
super cool. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's like and also high volume, high capacity. So that's kind of cool. So I want to take a look at that.
Yeah, and that's definitely, no pun intended, high on the radar because of there's been a lot of advances in that polymer firearm space, and there's with 3D printing and things like that. I mean, it's not uncommon for people to 3D print polymer weapons.
This one group is really cool right here.
Spot AI.
Yeah. So I was looking at the other day. It was really, really cool. How do you know there?
How you guys doing?
Pretty good. What are you guys doing?
Al.
Hey, you don't mind being on camera? Huh? You don't mind being on camera being recorded?
I don't mind.
All right.
What's up?
Cool. So John, why don't you just give us a quick rundown on Spot AI? What are you guys doing? What are you guys all about?
Spot AI, think Chat GPT for video.
Awesome.
Traditionally, I've been here for almost 4 years. Traditionally, our partners are selling us for, a standard VMS customer.
Right.
Lately, though, there's been a lot more demand for the AI, so we have a camera-agnostic video AI platform. Yes, it can replace a traditional VMS system, but it can also overlay another platform.
Awesome.
But think, what can ChatGPT do? You can ask it a question, it can give you contextual understanding of things, and so that's what we're doing with video. Whether it's finding footage or creating an action, a deterrent, something else.
So you guys did, I think you guys were part of the new product solutions this year, right?
Yes, yeah, the up-and-comers, whatever they're called.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why don't you show us, if you want to just show us again, like what were you presenting there if you guys have it on the floor here?
Yeah, so what you see right here is just a little bit of the dashboard. Like, hey, I want to get an alert, or I want analytics of how many fire trucks have come through here. I want my phone to ring every time a fire truck drove by here. But most of our customers are using this for like security use cases.
Right,
like everybody else here. Hey, Spotty and I, can you create an alert if there's a yellow van detected after 7 p.m. tonight, and then send that alert to Bobby in security, or hey, I need to find a video. Was there anybody smoking on the property today? And
Right.
I'll show you all the tips for that.
So how much when we talk about like video retention, typically 30 to 90 days is what a lot of customers are running. How do you guys do backwards processing? So if I wanted to review, if I was doing an investigation, for example, like 20 days ago for an incident, I could just run that video through Spot and put in, like, to your point, like yellow truck, smoking on property, and then it'll go back and re-review the footage from like a long time ago.
Well, some people need more terabytes than others to get more footage. So yeah, if our appliance was on-prem for 90 days and you need to pull that footage of what you're describing, then yes.
So a customer can dictate how long the video is retained?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you guys just overlay on that.
Yeah, the more they pay, the more that we'll put on the
Gotcha,
appliances.
gotcha. Now you got this cool little contraption up here.
Yeah.
That Josh will show everyone. What is this? So are you guys doing your own cameras and looks like sirens and,
Yeah, so
and boxes too?
This is our version of a remote security agent. So meet our virtual security guard.
Okay.
However, we don't care what form factor our customers are using. So we might have a company that makes their own trailers or makes their own pole mount units.
Right.
We're really selling the brains behind this.
Okay.
We know that there's people way more passionate about the hardware portion. So great, let's integrate with a partner that is really passionate about that trailer and their PTZ cameras, or somebody's got the best form factor for a pole mount unit. We'll give them the brains. But if someone needs a ready to go unit,
Sure, yeah, man.
they got our RSA, what we call it right here, remote
Okay.
security agent.
Okay. Perfect. And so I mean, it sounds like you guys are pretty adaptable. So if I had a customer, for example, like they just invested in their cameras, right, and they just invested in their VMS, but they want some type of AI overlay, you guys can do that. Or I might have a customer who's like, we just acquired a new building, we got to outfit the whole thing.
Yep.
You guys can do that too.
Absolutely. And so if they want cameras from Spotty Eye, like we can sell them our versions, but we would rather just lean on the partners and be like, hey, you're an Axis vendor, you want to sell Axis, great.
Awesome. What type of lead time do you guys need for an implementation?
So if someone places an order today for me, my fulfillment team's going to be shipping that out tomorrow. So within 4 business days, if we don't need to expedite, it's going to be on their doorstep.
And what about
If it's a large disappointment, then hey, you got to give me a little heads up.
Right. What about install time? So like, how long is it going to take for you guys to get this thing overlaid in the system? And then is there any training involved that I would have to train my staff on?
Well, just like any product, there's a little onboarding, but my bias feedback and feedback I'm getting from customers, it's very easy to implement. The Spot Genius automatically detects those RTSP streams for them to authenticate. It lists all the IP addresses for them in the dashboard. So I have people who are not tech savvy implementing this stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So a plant manager is a very common person to do this on a individual site level, but we love leaning on our partners and our integrators to do the install, and they love how easy it is to install Spot.
Awesome.
It just sits next to a PoE switch. That's all.
Perfect. Now you mentioned, is it on-prem? Is it cloud? Is it both?
Edge native, a little mix of both. So we have an on-prem device with an NVIDIA GPU. So it's going to process everything in real time, give you sub-second latency, but all of the interface when you need to go find footage is through a cloud-based dashboard.
Awesome.
So if someone pulls out the bolt cutters at an EV charging station and Mr. RSA is there, sub-second latency, it's got the flood, the lights on, the talk down to deter the people from
Great. Yeah.
cutting the
Keep
copper.
cutting. Yeah.
So how do you know, or how does Spot AI detect bolt cutters?
So you're gonna have to talk to my handy dandy product team. I'm the peasant sales guy.
All good.
Yeah, all the background stuff. We have automatic software updates that will update it for whatever the detection is going to be. You get pretty customizable with it.
Okay.
So it's not just people, vehicle, motion. Hey, show me a red ball. Show me a soda pop. Like.
Now, how customizable is it to each customer? So, say I have a customer, let's use a real world example, like Tesla right now, right?
Yeah.
Like all their dealerships are dealing with some, protests and stuff like that, right? And they have maybe a specific, maybe there's people wearing like anti-Elon shirts,
Yeah.
and they have a specific look that they're trying to code, like, hey,
Yeah.
if someone looks like this, but they're wearing this shirt, like I want an alert immediately, right?
Yeah.
So how customizable is it basically for each customer for their specific use cases?
So I think that's the fun part for my engineering team. How do we take this powerful NVIDIA GPU and make it easy to use for anybody? So up front we got templates, so all the common stuff. That's not a common use case,
Right.
But they can click on a customized event, upload their own images. Hey, here are some examples of these T-shirts, these type of personas, and they'll be able to implement that fairly easily.
Okay. Now, is that an added cost?
That's all included.
It's all included.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I think you mentioned this earlier, and I apologize, but is it a monthly fee, recurring subscription service, or is it initial upfront cost and
Yeah,
then
it's all
contract?
licensed.
Okay.
So Typically, we're selling a 3 to 5 year license.
Okay.
However the customer wants to pay for that, we'll figure it out.
Gotcha. So, man, a lot of power here. You know, very
That's right.
customizable.
We're up and coming.
Yeah.
Watch out for Spot.
That's right. Good stuff. Well,
Now, what's Metro One?
we do physical security. So we do guard servicing, security consulting.
All right.
And you know, we're always looking because you know we do the physical man stuff, right? We're always looking for technology like this that we can augment our guards to make it more effective.
How long have you guys been in business for?
About 40 years.
So do you feel like that you guys saw the tech boom come in where I'm assuming some customers like, hey, LVT, it costs a portion of the price of a security guard.
Right.
Were you guys seeing some customers going that direction and then you guys started doing stuff like that?
I mean, that's a great question. I think ultimately technology is like anything else, right? It augments, but doesn't necessarily replace. And so we definitely saw customers who were early on adopters of certain technologies, and that was important because you have to actually do a real live implementation before you know where it's effective and where it's not, right? And so you know, it was important to us to be very accepting of that fact of like, we know technology is pervasive. It's everywhere, right? I mean, you know, 10 years ago, you had 4 guys running a garbage truck. Now you have 2 robotic arms, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, the sanitation service is automating and reducing headcount. Same with fast food. We see that at the fast food kiosks, right? What would have taken 20 people to run a McDonald's now, you're probably down to 10, right?
Yep.
So technology is pervasive everywhere, but we also understand the limitations. You know, after we've implemented it in certain markets and in certain use cases, and we know. You know, I think the way we view this is technology does the things that the guards aren't necessarily the best at. It helps strengthen that weakness, but there's always going to be a use case and application for a human and what humans are good at, right?
Yes.
And so, you know, some companies take a very, hostile view of the technology, like it's cutting into the profit margins. It's going to cost us money. I think we've taken a very different approach of, no, let's embrace it. Let's figure out a way to partner with these companies, and let's figure out a way to make our guards even better. So the dollars spent on guards, you can see the ROI very easily, right?
And you guys are based in California, San Diego?
No, we're nationwide. We're nationwide. I'm based in California, but we are nationwide. So we have multiple national customers across the U.S. and we do a lot of work for them. So
my goal coming to the show, and I think every team member here might have a little bit of different goals, but mine personally, I need to find the best. She's part of our marketing team. Don't mind her. She's Emily's great. She's the best.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find the best security guard companies, monitoring companies, trailer companies, whoever I can. I have construction customers. I have oil and gas customers. I need to put them in the best hands of partners and integrators that can help my customers. So I'm trying to spread the word and get who's going to be one of my customers, a car dealership. They need somebody on site, not just an RSA unit.
Right.
They want some human element with it. Like who can I call? Am I going to call Al over there? So my goal today is to find the best partners in the country to
well, we're always happy to partner. So it's all good.
Let's definitely stay in that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
What's the best way for me to get your info? Can I scan you?
Yeah, you can scan. Give me a little scan, and then let's talk.
Okay.
This is what ISC is all about, right here. Developing the relationships.
Scanning.
Learning and developing relationships.
Yeah.
I didn't know John before, like the last 10 minutes ago. I didn't know him. Now we're gonna be besties here soon.
Yeah, you'll be besties. You'll get to know my wife and kids. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks a lot, John. Really appreciate it.
Josh, good to meet you guys. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, absolutely.
This was fun.
Absolutely.
All right, cheers.
That was a great solution. So for those of you who didn't, I think it was implied, but it was a cool thing to see. You actually could train their model by uploading a whole bunch of images.
Right.
And that's like a really cool thing.
That's absolutely cool.
It's actually making it easier for you to train the AI model to what you actually like. So it's not like a generic model,
Right.
and you're like, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and I'm forcing you to do what I like, what I think is important. No, they made it accessible where you can actually train and say, this is important to me. And I think that's really, really, really cool.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, that the being able to customize the solution to your specific use cases is huge, and I think that's one of those things where it's probably a differentiator for them in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of companies out there that are putting the .ai behind their name, but it's kind of a big package box solution on their model with no ability to really go outside that.
So we're looking for 34098.
Probably this way, yeah.
After like.
New companies I've never seen before, like Alcatraz.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know what Alcatraz is. Centricam.
Ah, here it is. This is the.
Here we go. All right.
Oh, hopefully that turned out. They're already turning out everything.
Oh man.
Yeah, this is the company I was looking at this week for NPS.
Sonar.
That's it.
Any chance we get one of you guys to talk about sonar on the camera, or are you guys not allowed to do that?
Not on camera.
Yeah.
Can you guys come to us tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes, because we're starting to pack up.
I know. I got you.
Sir, what's your name?
I'm with Metro One. I'm Al. This is Josh.
I'm Josh.
Chris.
Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Alexander, project manager.
Al. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Alexandra.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Hi, sorry.
Al, hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, we'll be back. Just come in when
Okay.
the exam
Yeah, yeah.
opens, and then we'll have a chat with them.
Perfect. I saw your product at NPS. I really want to learn more about it because it was only 15 minutes.
Yeah, we were so excited to get that award. We were just.
You guys got an award?
Yeah, right up there. For the best anti-terrorism product.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Yeah, so you can bug us all about that tomorrow, but right
Yeah.
now.
You must be thrilled.
Yeah.
Don't even get us started. It's like whatever.
Totally understand.
We is all together, whatever that one is, we're like, hey! Where's our pillow?
Yeah, we're gonna go celebrate.
Get a bottle of champagne, shake it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think we open it, we're like, we're too tired to drink this. Take a sip, just go right to bed.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Let's.
Is the show 4 busy? It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's probably getting close. We can. What do you got on the agenda tomorrow?
Nothing really, other than just
Okay.
saying hi to clients and trying to meet up and catch up with people as
Okay.
fast as I can.
Yeah.
And then make sure to tear down early so I can get here by 10.
Yeah.
3:30ish.
We go to look at some UAS here.
Hey Sam, if you're listening to this right about now, where's White Fox? Yes, I'm calling you out, Sam.
White Fox. Let's go around this way. So I think what, 700 exhibitors this year.
Wow,
Yeah, 700. Yeah,
that's even more than RSA.
yeah. I mean, tons of stuff out here this year. A lot of interesting products, a lot of interesting services. We talked about this last week. The .ai, the AI, everything. We're definitely seeing that. That definitely came true.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the real question is how many of them really else spend statements?
Right.
So here's supposed to be the smart home category. So next to it is supposed to be the AI category.
Yep. Kyla AI Solutions, Surveillance Solutions. Smart home. Now, there's been a lot of
Yeah, let's go over here.
work in the RFID space as well, secure tracking and tagging.
This other guy. Hey, Matt has a new drone.
Yep.
That thing is huge.
That thing is pretty big.
And it
But
smiles, too.
I got a feeling this thing is going to be replacing a lot of our mobile patrols in the near future.
On golf carts?
Yeah, well, you know, the fuel issue is actually a big issue when you talk about mobile control or mobile patrol, because you do end up having to pay that variable cost every month on like a vehicle. So there's been a lot of talk about UGS. Yeah, rad dog. What about that guy?
No, but it's on wheels.
Yeah.
Not even stepping in anything. It's on wheels now.
How cool is that? How cool is that?
Hey, here's another one. It's a US radar.
So we've seen a lot of UAS radar, more so than last year. This year, though, it's becoming a clearly a more popular thing, and definitely a concern for a lot of our customers. It's definitely pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Christian, what's going on? Al, nice to meet you. We're just we do a podcast on security stuff, but we're here at ISC West. We just wanted to learn more about what you guys do, and if you guys can appear on camera. If you can't, it's totally fine.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
All right, cool. So, Iris Counter UAS, talk to us about it. The Robin radar system.
Yep, so Robin Radar Systems Company. Robin stands for Radar Observation of Bird Intensity.
Okay.
We started out as a radar company for bird.
Okay.
For airports for plane bird
Yeah,
strikes.
yeah.
And we also do wind farms, and we have a Max radar. And then we, in the last few years, we moved into the counter UAS. So this radar is very built from the ground up to be a counter drone radar.
Gotcha. So are you guys solely the radar, or do you have any software behind it? Okay.
Yep, so we're a radar. We have our own GUI, and then we would be integrate with whoever's system. So
Gotcha.
Camera through a C2. Cameras, if you have mitigation authority or RF detection as just a component. But the good thing about radar is we don't need to detect any RF. We use the micro Doppler. That's the big thing about our radar. So you have Doppler, which is your radar cross section. You have micro Doppler. It's the propellers.
Gotcha.
The propellers are coming to you and going away from you at all times.
Right.
And they move at different speeds.
Right.
So what we call the deep neural network takes that information, extrapolates it, and then that's how you get the alert that it is a drone or it's not a drone.
Gotcha. Now, can you do sizing? So would you be able to know?
So it doesn't tell you.
Okay.
If you depending on what system, like what you're viewing at, like if you're in the our drone viewer, or if you're in the certain other things, because if you have an integration, you're just getting the alerts, right?
Right.
But if you're in the admin on our system, you can see the radar cross section and see how big or small it is. But that's how it
so you'll
helicopter, right?
Yeah.
It knows that radar cross section is really big.
Right.
It's a helicopter, no alert.
Right. Yeah. So gotcha. So the radar cross section will give you a size, but you don't necessarily know if it's a small DJI.
We just classify that it is a drone
or it's not. Okay, gotcha.
You're not getting the a DJI Mini Mavic or this.
Right. I don't think most radars can do that just quite yet. So that's
we're
all
not
good.
Extrapolating any data.
Right. What's typical customer base use case? I mean, you did say airports and birds.
Yeah, airports, obviously, critical infrastructure, larger.
Yeah, okay.
Radars come at a cost. So so your local small place, mom and pop.
Probably not going for it.
Small town USA City Police Department.
Right.
Probably not going to go for that. But there's other things. But the larger, obviously. It's dual use, so there's also military size. DoD is a target.
Gotcha.
For us, obviously, with everything going on with
absolutely.
Ukraine, and then
we had the whole situation in New Jersey last year, right? Late last year.
We actually were lucky enough. We worked through because of some of our contacts with DHS, there's the National Urban Security Technology, NUSTEL.
Yep.
So we were able to go up to New Jersey and
Okay.
bring a radar up there
great.
just to support. And like, of course, every industry was like, oh, I'll come.
Yeah.
I'll come.
So we volunteers tribute, right?
Right. So exactly, and I'm from Jersey originally, so
Okay,
kinda
gotcha.
like home team.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So we got to go up there and set up at some of their locations.
How did you guys fare out there? How did you? How was the performance?
To be honest with you, performance was great. The locations we were at, we had, in a 24-hour period at one location, we picked up 44,000 plus tracks.
Gotcha.
So that's birds, planes, anything
That's
that was
anything that's flying, right?
You're not getting any alerts on it, but you can go back to our database and we can see all the tracks.
Gotcha.
And we had 0 drones.
Nice.
This particular
Nice.
location. And then at another one, I think we were like 30. That one we happened to be near like an airport, a small airport.
Okay.
So that we were kind of skewed there because we also had the same thing, like 48,000 tracks.
Right.
But again, no drones.
Okay.
So I'm not saying it was drones. I'm not saying it wasn't drones.
Yeah,
up there.
right. But you were able to provide the data that
We were
hey,
able to provide
in
that
that,
data
in that
and-
specific geographic area there were no
And
drones, so
it
you
was
could,
good. They got to see our system and kind of see how they. So it was I can't say seal of approval, but because
Right.
But they like what they saw and
Field tested.
field
exactly.
tested.
And
that's always important.
And DHS
right?
was involved, so they wanted our data. They asked if you
Yeah.
can give us what you got. So that was good, right? So it was good for a company. It was very good to be like.
Yeah.
Show your stuff, right?
Yeah.
In real
Your
world
stuff-
situation.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
And,
you can't beat that.
As the best thing for us was Senator Chuck Schumer got on the TV and said, "We want a Robin," and
Got the endorsement from, from Chuck.
There was
so.
one of the forgot what paper. So a gentleman wrote a headline, and it was Gotham has a Batman, New York wants a Robin.
Nice.
And then our marketing team was like,
Oh, you got
how
to.
could we not have thought of that?
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
So-
That's awesome. Any talks about maybe a smaller version for like home use or
Probably not.
probably not? Yeah.
There's our R&D, and we're looking we're looking at some other future options, but nothing that we'd be talking about.
not to the individual consumer market yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, it's one of those use cases where most of your residential areas are,
We've
they're-
had some
you're gonna-
interest in some of your very, very, very California affluent communities.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where they're like, oh, these people will chip in the money and buy one.
Right.
Yeah.
Just to know.
So-
I could see a lot of neighborhoods passing like local ordinances, privacy stuff, especially, Hollywood stars want their privacy, keep the paparazzi out.
So unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know how you want to look at it, the only people that can control the airspace is the FAA.
Right.
They control that. So you can't
just shut down the airspace
Right,
if you don't
can't
want to.
necessarily tell somebody you're not allowed to fly here because
Right.
you're not the FAA. FAA can do it.
Right.
Now, a lot of communities will do ordinances where they'll say you cannot take off or land a drone from this park, this city, or whatever. That's how they kind of enforce it on the local level.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely you can see that being a very useful system for some of the neighborhoods, even some of the school
The other
districts.
good thing about along those lines is not only we're thinking counter UAS, right? Keep it away. Also, this radar is really good where to just give you airspace domain awareness. So what's coming out in the next few years is drone ports, right? Everybody, the deliveries of packages and things like that.
Right.
You need air mobility awareness.
Yeah, you need to know where things are going, where their air corridors
we had
are.
the Hurricane Helene and how the flooding in North Carolina, right? They had several near misses of drones and helicopters because everybody was flying a drone either to take pictures, or they were trying to help people, or the fire department, the police departments were flying drones to search for people,
right?
And then people were bringing in helicopters. There was like a millionaire that had like 10 helicopters come in,
just dropping things in,
and they were like the drones were messing things up. So like you could take this, put it on a vehicle, if you're like a state homeland security or something like that, and then it gives you the whole picture of the airspace.
Right.
So maybe you're not mitigating or you're not keeping them away, but at least hey, a helicopter B, you're coming in. We see 3 drones flying around.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, there's a lot of awareness on that right now after what happened in
Yeah,
Virginia.
and then you had the wildfire with the plane,
right.
the drone hit the plane in California,
Yep.
same thing. You know, so like, hey, if you got plane operations that are flying low to the ground, they're doing something, put a radar out there, and you don't have to, you're seeing what's out there. Even if it was a flock of seagulls coming through.
Yeah. No, I mean, I lot of practical application use cases there for a
So
lot
I
of
try
different
to
scenarios.
my thing is try to get people away from this. Like, don't be like so like the defensive. Like, we gotta keep it away. Let's look how we can use this to enhance, and then allow other drones to fly around. At least you know about them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much,
Yeah,
Chris.
guys.
Really
It's nice
appreciate
meeting
it.
you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Have a great one.
Yeah.
Cheers. Enjoy the rest of the show.
All right. Looks like day one is coming to a close. The floor is getting pretty empty. I think it's beer 30 for a lot of people.
I mean, I don't know if this camera's actually showing it, but you can see like just how big and expansive this hall is.
Yeah, it's big. I think I want to say it was maybe 3/4 of what of what this is this year. Last year, I don't think we had as much on the floor. We had a lot more open space. So again, I think that's a great thing. I mean, there's a lot of technology coming out, with a lot of different use cases and practical application.
For those of you who have AI on your bingo card, here's ambient AI. You know,
Good old ambient. Yep. We'll try to get a talk with them tomorrow.
New physical security controls.
Yeah.
Saran wrap.
Sometimes the simplest solution is the best solution.
Yeah.
Duct tape and bubble gum.
Wonder how much they're selling the physical security solution for. 99 cents.
Oh well, there's probably a markup on that.
They have the whole booth. I just want to if it was ethical and if it was just you could play a prank, I would saran wrap the entire booth just for this now.
To their credit, nobody's in the booth.
I know.
To their credit, nobody's in the booth.
It's an effective control.
Effective control. Like I said, sometimes the simplest solution is the best one. It's not always about the 16 pieces of flair.
Yeah. I can use a new grocery bag.
That's the other great thing about ISC West is the swag.
Thank you to look, these guys.
Rapid response monitoring.
Yeah. Thank you for the call back.
So Acre was interesting. I saw a little demo from them about VMS, visitor management, which can be a big pain for any facility that gets a lot of visitors, a lot of traffic in and out. So it's an interesting concept, interesting what they got going on.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
The neon sign.
Oh yeah, that's very aesthetically pleasing. I like the plant wall. We always see new stuff every time we come here. They didn't have that.
This is Alert Enterprise.
Yep.
So Alert Enterprise always does some really, really cool things.
They
I'm a
do.
fan. No, I don't work for them or have any stock or anything like that. I just think their product is really cool.
Yeah, they have some really cool stuff, really cool sensor stuff for building management. Integrated with a lot of partners as well, so a lot of wide adoption with that one.
TP-Link has their CCTV solution here.
Yeah.
Vigi and Omada.
STID's got this great little display. It's card readers. Lots of talk about card readers and integration.
I'm regretting leaving early now. There's like so much cool stuff this year.
Yeah, this year definitely has a lot more stuff, like fun stuff. Gonna have a lot of questions for people. There's our friends at Ricotta.
Looking forward to seeing what we can do there.
Yeah. Wesco.
Geneva. I think we're getting asked to leave.
Yeah.
Everything's kind
We're
of
being
like
we're being
walking, slowing out.
politely shown the door. Now Hanwha's got some interesting stuff as well. I wanted to check them out.
I have to tomorrow to check it out.
Yeah, see what they got going on. Johnson Controls usually puts on some good stuff.
That is a
Yep,
that is what, 12 feet?
easily. Yeah, easily. Dormicaba. Definitely going to look at these guys for their locking solutions. Lots of talk about securing. So one of the big things, kind of a new change in the ISO 27001 standards for really critical infrastructure, data centers, information systems, is they're now tying the data privacy and cybersecurity to physical security containers as well. So it's not enough to just secure the data. You have to also secure the containers in which the data is stored. So some of those companies like Dormicaba and Assa Abloy and their locking solutions and Traca become really important to keep people in compliance to these new standards. So definitely interested in seeing some of their technology on the lock side.
There's a lot of cool stuff out here too as well. All right, folks. So I think we're about 40 minutes here, almost.
Yeah. So
everything's winding down. There's not much to talk. Let's want to share his drone. So we'll post this video, and then we'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, guys.